Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker's got some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into this live stream. Hello, everybody. Who have we got? We had some really early people. Hello, Veronica. Hi, Kelly. If you're still awake, just made coffee to stay awake. Hi, Ace. Hi, Darkwick. Hi, Nutty. Hello, bunnies make me happy. I love your name. Chickens make me happy. Hello, everybody. Hello, Amanda. Hi, Asha. Okay, so how is it that I'm doing a very different time slot and yet I'm seeing very similar names? I was going into this thinking, oh, I'm a little bit nervous because it's going to be like a whole different group of people, and it's not. Not that I'm disappointed. Hello, Robe. Hi. I'm like, is the vibe going to be different? Am I going to meet a whole bunch of new people? But yeah, so just a whole bunch of people with really problematic sleep schedules. Is that right? Hello, Ice. Your sleep is abominable. Hello, is it Dressia? Hello. Time for bed. Totally understand. So this is the second time slot that I'm trying out just to see how it goes, and I'm just hoping to try and capture different time zones and things like that. So baby woke you up and now you're awake. Oh. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So I know that I've got North American Nuggets in the stream at the moment. How are you going with your ice storm situation? Well, that could be a poor choice of words at the moment, couldn't it? I do mean the literal winter storm going on. Hello from Sweden. Hi. Hello, Keto. Or I should say Lisa. Hello, Rachel. Hi. Please let me know where everyone's from. I get really interested. The stream time at the moment, I'm expecting some Aussies and some Kiwis to show up. You're a Canadian, but you're used to it. -40. -40. Do Canadians use Fahrenheit or Celsius in your temperature scale? 7 feet of snow and still falling. My goodness. On the flip side of that, Aussies, how are you going in this heat wave? Can we set up some sort of mutual trade, maybe some heat for some cool? Darkwick from Norway. I'm gradually, the more repetitive the information you give me is, the more I'm starting to retain it. There's a lot that goes on in live streams to monitor, and I'm aware that my memory is just absolutely shot. And so I appreciate you continuing to tell me the information. And then I see it and I'm like, oh yes, I had this information. You lucked out with 10 inches of snow. Celsius in Canada, right? -40 degrees Celsius is obscene. I don't think Australia has ever seen anything remotely approaching that. You have a fan on because your rental doesn't have AC. Relatable. It's bloody hot here. It's awful. It's really awful. The chickens have had sprinklers. And they get little ice, that I put ice trays in their water. It's in the UK, 7 a.m. Oh, okay. There are worse ways to start a week. You're in Brisbane, Rachel. Are you coping okay? It means you're just enough of a menace to be remembered. I remember you, Darkwick, I do. Melting in Vic, yes. Yes. So, I know there's a lot going on in the world at the moment. Things are very bleak. Let's just, have some giggles together tonight. We can have a bit of a laugh at the LCU and Rachel's things that she has going on. And for the Aussies, we can celebrate a nice invasion day. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, we can. As a 43-year-old menopause girl, I can't handle the heat, so I'll take the snow. I love the cold. I hate the heat. I never get used to it. Hello from Finland. That's so cool. As an always cold 42-year-old female, you'll take the heat. Please be the distraction we collectively need. Yes. Canadian Insomniac checking in. Hello, clowns. Welcome. Okay. So today, we're going to be talking about Rachel again, because I think she's about to have her success return. And I want to back up my theory, and I'm making a prediction because I think she's about to turn a corner. I don't know if we're happy about that, considering that it seems like nothing's been learned, like nothing at all, which means that I think we'll see another major cluck up at some point in the near future. Rachel Lynn. Yes, this is bad, boo hiss. I know. But the reality is, I said it in my last stream, I'll just say it for anyone who wasn't in there, although by the looks of that was not many people at all. I think based on her history, she is averaging two major, and I mean major mistakes. Sorry, one major mistake every 2 months. So statistically, she's returned to uploading. We should be seeing one in the next month or so. But she needs to get more comfortable first, because I don't think she's gotten there yet. She's getting there. No, Veronica, that's kind of, as a DV survivor, I can't forgive her calling DVT. That is where my mind gets stuck as well. I'm with you on that. It was just like, I feel like if she had have taken the stance first that she didn't believe it, or she hadn't acknowledged it in any way, but the fact that she acknowledged and called Emily a DV victim, that then made everything that followed absolutely deplorable. And there's going to be a subset of Gorl World that will remember that, but there's going to be a lot that are going to be new to her very shortly, or just forget, and everything will move on until something else happens. And she's a focus now because all of you kind of voted for her to be, which means that I'll be keeping tabs on her and keeping an eye on anything that's behaviorally interesting. Rachel had some nerve even thinking about going there. Wait, does that mean Rachel too has an ALR type cycle? She does, but it looks different. Hers is born of, I think, a combination of arrogance and being out of touch with the way the world works, compared to Amber's, which is, oh well, I've gone into that, haven't I? It's like a weird motivation dopamine cycle thing. Rachel repeats her mistakes because she never understood why people were upset with her actions. That's exactly, also, hello, Furball. That's exactly my take as well. I don't think she fully gets what's going on. And I also, if I were a betting chicken, I would say that she's probably had a fairly privileged upbringing, hasn't had to encounter too much adversity in her life prior to this. So I don't think there's like a concept of going too far, in a sense, although one would have thought that this last situation would have been enough to scare her into change, but I don't think it has. And really, what I'm about to go through is going to highlight the fact that she doesn't really need to change. She doesn't. Well, at least from a making money perspective on the internet, anyway. Her smugness is disgusting and hypocritical. You don't think she cares either? No. No, I don't either. Hello, Amanda. I don't know if I caught you earlier. Hello. She said she's never known any... Really? Where did she say that, Veronica? She said she's never known anyone who was a victim of DV. That's, statistically improbable. Rachel seems like she got a philosophy degree just to tell people she has a degree in philosophy. Do you know what's funny, Ms. Lemon? I've been going back through her very, very early videos because I'm getting ready to do the historical deep dive on her like I do with Eugenia. And I've been watching her like 18-year-old self videos, and she's actually really grounded and well-spoken and likable. And so I'm wondering at what point, I think it might have been the degree that caused the smugness and everything that we see, because she didn't used to be like this, or at least not the way she presented herself anyway. Her first video about him, wow, okay. All right, well, I'll be getting there for sure. I'll be covering them all in depth in the way that I do, you know my style. She might not have ever met anyone willing to tell her, or they told her and she didn't care or didn't believe them. That's valid. Just based on her vids on Emily, yeah. I've never known anyone who is a victim equals no victim I've met has ever felt comfortable talking to me about this serious stuff. Hello, Dead Not Sleeping. Hi. I cannot believe how many similar names there are. It's good. I feel comfortable. I'm glad. Just one point, I am also streaming on Twitch. If any of you with Twitch accounts would like to, sit on there to boost my average viewership, I would be very grateful, but you do not have to. It's there if you want it. I've only got one more, requirement to hit on Twitch. In your foul fashion. Oh, I love the pun. Thank you, Kelly. She also said she had an amazing childhood with great parents and 2 great brothers. That's wonderful for her. Super happy. I just kind of wish she had a bit more insight when speaking about the things that she's speaking about. PLDB, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Thank you. I had an idea. I want to go around and record my boys doing their crows and then make that the sound for the alert box. I think that'd be really fun. And that kind of privileged vibe I picked up on with stuff that I'm not going to be putting in my video, but I'll reference it obliquely since it was unethically sourced, as in she was doxxed. It does seem like a very privileged upbringing, which is, I'm super happy for her to have been able to have that. You think you have a Prime sub? Thank you so much, Dead Not Sleeping. I'm not monetized on Twitch yet. That's what I'm trying to get to. I really appreciate the sentiment, though. Oh, who was that? I just missed someone. Bug Babe, thank you so much for following on Twitch. Hello, Amanda, on Twitch. Thank you. I was thinking, because Twitch and YouTube can't see their respective chats, how would you guys like it if I actually put a chat that's permanently up on the screen so that it's integrated and you can actually see each other? Is that something you think you'd use, or do you exclusively look at the chat that you're in? Let me know, because I kind of have it already set up in a way. I just need to do a pretty graphic for it. You thought you had 3 roosters, but it turns out they're all hens, Bobay. That is kind of the dream of a lot of people. That is super lucky. Maybe buy a lotto ticket. Yeah, most people I know have, oops, chat's moving, sorry. Most people I know have a whole lot of hard stuff in their background. I don't think I know anyone without something. I agree with you, Asha. I don't know anybody with absolutely nothing. Yeah, good idea. That way you can interact with each other. I kind of have it here. But it doesn't have a nice place to sit. So I might just keep it off for this stream and then maybe have something set up for the next stream. It was basically just you talking on Twitch when you were able. Oh, were you Neo? People are sneaky with their different names. You definitely need to tell me if your name isn't the same. I really appreciate it. Does she ever say what level of philosophy degree she has? No, I think it's just an undergrad. I think she only has one. Do they still call them undergrads in England? Yeah, I think it's just the one degree. As far as I know, that's not verified. Don't quote me, but I think. Oh, Nox. Oh, so wait, aren't you Ian? Hang on, I'm confused. Hello, Star. Hi. Yes, I'm trying out my second time slot. Your PLDB on Twitch. Cool, cool. Thank you. You enjoy my channel because your mother is a covert narcissist and you appreciate everyone sharing their stories. It makes you feel less alone. That, Veronica, is pretty much the entire point of my channel. I'm really glad that you find that here. We all have stories, and at the very least, if there's somebody in that doesn't have that kind of history, they at least learn to appreciate their parents on a very deep level. Okay, all right, so let's have a squizzy. Just a bit of a squiz at Rachel's Social Blade statistics. Now, Rachel has officially gone under 50k, which means that she's kind of very roughly where she was before all of this went down. So before she had the really big spike, before the quote-unquote tea was leaked. And you can see she's gone right down. This is gained if we go to total. So this was where she was, 47,600, and now she's at 49,900. So a lot of people are celebrating that, you know, it is what it is. Now, here's my theory. While we can see that her numbers are definitely still going down in subscribers, this is finite because this is going to be the people that didn't realize that they were still subscribed to her or maybe wanted to give her a chance to redeem herself and she hasn't, and all of that. But there's only going to be so many of those kind of people that believe this that are going to leave. And what makes me think that she's hitting a turning point is if you look at these views here have all been since she started covering Amber again, because you can see that she kind of tried this Jacqueline Hill one, which capped out at 10,000 views, which is very low for a channel of her size. I'd be happy with them, but you know, I am teeny tiny compared to her. And then she tried this little very brief foray into feminism culture, and that one is just limping to 4,000 views, and that's 2 weeks old now, so that is extremely low. Rather than actually sticking with something that means something to her, of course, Rachel is completely money focused. We know this about her. She's exhibited that time and time again. She decided to scatter her morals to the wind and continue back with Amber content, and these views are so much better. This last one that we're going to watch tonight is only 2 days old with 18,000 views. That's phenomenal. That's really good. And this is what's going to be getting her the money, and so I predict this is where she's going to stay, which also pretty much solidifies that we're going to see our mistake in the near future. Bo Bay, thank you so much for following on Twitch. Thank you so much. So, unsubbed from Rachel with the A messages from Instagram. Oh, so way back then. You're an early abandoner. In your opinion, she's still big mad that Emily is back with Amber. Yeah, I think there was more to that, just because she made mention to those flirtation messages being nothing, but then never actually showed us. And I wonder if after she made that claim, she went back and read them and went, oh, yeah, no, that's going to make me look really bad. Really, really bad. You think Rachel's issue is she's looking for a way to laugh all the way to the bank rather than either approach it seriously and do real research into people or approach it as a hobby for fun? I'm inclined to agree with that. Oh, no, no problem, Amanda. Look after yourself. Thank you for coming in. You don't think it was just, I don't think it was just flirting either. No, I don't. Otherwise, she would have just shown us. If she was just being friendly and there was no problem, she would have shown the receipts, because that's what everybody has been hung up on. So why not just get rid of that completely and then the problem goes away? But instead, that's the DV victim that she described as a DV victim, and she's flirting to get the tea. That's where we're at. And we have to assume it really was flirting just because we haven't seen it. She's done nothing to mitigate those rumors at all. And yeah, she is, in the last videos we did on my last stream, she is quite softly spoken when it comes to Emily. I don't like Emily either. No, everybody sucks here. Okay, so shall we watch? Now, this time slot is a little bit tighter than my other time slot that I do. So it won't be able to be a 3-hour live stream. It'll probably be like a 2 and a bit, something like that. But I'll let you all know, and we'll see how we go. Because if this time slot is anything like my other time slot, then we know how to talk and not watch videos. So we'll see. We'll get through it. We'll see what she has to say. But yeah, so basically my prediction is this kind of, like, it's almost a brute force technique that she's doing, because these 4 videos were released back to back in days. So 4 videos in 4 days, and I almost wonder if she had some time off from her day job and then you know, thought, look, I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm going to put out as much as I can and just see what happens. And the reception has been quite favorable. A degree is fine, but experience matters. You're on your 14th year of teaching. Nice. And your approach versus a new teacher who never held a job. Yeah, absolutely. It's different. You hope she didn't lose her day job. I think she's aiming to go back to this. It's gonna work. I am confident. It'll work until it doesn't, put it that way. So let's get started, shall we?
Hello, since my last video.
Just a couple of things to show here. The ratio is so much better than what she's been getting on her other videos. And that's why I say, you know, she's going to run out of people that don't want to support her. They'll all leave, and then she'll be left with the people that absolutely love what she's doing, which is fine. Everybody has their audience online. It's fine. If it's not for you and it's not for me, that's okay as well.
Amber Lynn has been on 2 Lolcow Bus episodes. She's been on this one and this one. This one is where she dressed up like a mean girl, which was last night's episode. We're going to talk about that one in the next video. In this video, we're going to talk about this episode here. I'm going to go through the interesting things that happened in it and whatever there is that's worth talking about. There's a couple of bits that I think are worth touching on, so that's what we're going to do. Here we go.
Is this the stream that Salty said there was nothing relevant in it? I feel like it's the same one. No, I'm not sure.
Go. The episode is called Did Scooter Quit? And before Amber started, she put a picture on her Instagram story or TikTok or somewhere. Somebody sent it to me and she looked like this, which I thought was quite funny because if you watch the episode, she looks like this. And the use of filters just always kind of makes me chuckle. In this episode, they do not stop talking for literally an hour and 20 minutes about the fact that Scooter quit and Amber and Amber and Sweet Tea are pretending to be mad at Scooter, but the whole thing is just really performative and bullshit. But there are still some interesting bits we can talk about that don't have anything to do with that. The first of these things is the weigh-in that they do. For those of you who are deep in the lore, you'll know Amber lies in weigh-ins. She's done it for ages. We'll dive into this episode and watch this bit where they do the weigh-in and then we'll have a chat about it. We're about 3 minutes into the episode. Sweet Tea just arrived late and now we're going to watch them do their weigh-in. Here we go.
So, it is Wednesday, so before we...
The filters don't make Amber look any better. Did you see some of Foodie's filters that she's been using on TikTok? I'm amazed at what they can do. Her and Foodie both fake weigh-ins. Yeah, I don't see the point. Like, if there's no way of proving that they're real and there's no way of proving that they're false, what is the point in doing it? But it's just drama, right? It's the whole point of this show. Filters always make you feel like, does this person know that they're telling us all their insecurities? The filters don't make you laugh, they make you annoyed. You have 2 teen girls and you worry about how filters might impact their mental health. Actually, it's funny you say that, Asha. You know, the social media videos that I'm going to be doing, I'm gearing up to do them. There is a whole section on beauty filters and the effect on youths in these documents that they've discovered through the time. Sorry, my chickens are going off, but don't worry, my husband is on chicken duty at the moment.
Get into anything too crazy, we got something to knock out, which is our weekly weigh-ins, and let me tell you, it has been another not great week for me. I'll just be honest, not as bad as I thought, considering the night I had last night, but, you know, apparently I was dehydrated or some shit, so I'll take it.
So Scooter claims that he basically had, like, rather than quitting Lolcow Bus, he claimed that he thought he was fired, so he disappeared and didn't message anyone, but the whole thing was, like, completely fake, just to make Sweet Tea and Amber have something to get angry about, so they've got something to talk about. It's not real at all.
But let's go ahead and get into that before we get into any of the other stuff.
Also, can I just highlight, because I am still very stuck on this, the last video, so in the Jacqueline Hill video, Rachel said, my videos could be described as not standing for anything, but hopefully that will change soon. She's making mention that she wants to do videos that matter. And Girl World, I mean, I think objectively we all know this is just a drama community, and unless you really dig like I do in my videos, there's not going to be that kind of, you know, thought-provoking content. And to see her turn around within 2 videos of that, I think speaks so much about how much emphasis she puts on money. And I always worry about people that put so much emphasis on money. It shouldn't be money at any cost. Money is a tool. It shouldn't be a goal. And to say, you know, Rachel actually wanting to do something that matters, but then to just say, no, I don't care about that anymore. You know, you don't need to worry about my word. You don't need to worry about my ethics or my morals. I just want to make the money. You know, I'm stuck on that. Very stuck. The whole show Amber is on now pokes your brain in all the wrong ways. That is such a perfect way of saying that, Furball. I feel the same way. Everything is scripted, everyone screams, and people keep sending them money. What makes me concerned is that it's such a dumbed down level of entertainment. I'm so sorry if you enjoy it. Look, if you enjoy it, know what it is. That's all I have to say. But it's such a dumbed down entertainment with all of the screaming and all of the drama and everything is just happening all the time, so that you never have time to stop your brain from thinking. And it's just, I don't know, it makes me worry for the future of humanity. Your covet narcissist mother would love Rachel. Whenever Amber comes back to her channel and claims it wasn't the real me, it was just scripted for the money, then we must keep reminding her that she was terrifying her pets for money. I agree with you. And in all honesty, my nuggets, if she comes back, and I don't doubt that she's going to have to play that card, because how else do you navigate going from the LCU back to your channel? She's ruined her brand completely, what was left of it. The only card she has to play is it wasn't real, I was just doing it for money. And I feel like at that point, I don't know if I want to keep covering her. I don't know if I want to keep giving her attention with it. And I'm going to keep covering Rachel, so to a point there will be Amber content, but like, I don't know. I think she is so far beyond help that it's ridiculous at this point.
Because there is plenty to talk about today. Let me see, where is it? There we go.
Plenty.
All right, so here's my weigh-in. I regret to inform you all that I have in fact gained 3 more pounds, like 3.5 more pounds. To be honest, you know what? It could have been
Look
a
at
lot
Amber's
worse.
face. Look how like gleeful. She's so happy that Scooter's gained weight. Look, she's like trying to contain her happiness and joy that for once she's not the only fatty who's failing.
Because I'll be honest, it's been one of them weeks. And you know what? Last night was one of them nights, but I'll fucking take it. I will fucking take it. So it could have been worse.
Can't judge you. I was about to go all in, but listen, I started YouTube 13 years ago at like 360 pounds trying to lose weight, and here I am over 500. So I can't judge you, man. I can't.
It is what it is. You know, I'm getting on the right track again. I have my
Do you think there is a way that they could do these weigh-ins that would 100% convince you that it was real? Because I'm sitting here looking at this and looking at how they kind of set it up, and I don't know if I could be convinced, even if it was like Hungry Fat Chick does, where she steps on it and we hear it read it out. This show, the people behind this show are technically, you know, adept enough to be able to fake that. So I don't know if they could ever actually convince me. All ALR online presence is bad performance for money. I mean, it is. I feel like for my purposes, there is a difference between what Amber does normally and what the LCU does. Because at least it's like, it's over dramatized, but it's still her. There's still behavioral stuff to analyze. I don't know. It's different. In my mind, it's different. Note, if Amber says her pets weren't scared, then we have to tell her that they're conditioned to it because she does it so often, meaning she's frequently a monster off camera. Yeah, because they do react to screaming, for sure. Yeah. I don't know. It's food for thought. I don't think I could be convinced, but this doesn't seem right.
My computer at home now. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So let's see Amber
Is Sweetie
Lynn's.
just drying her hair? She looks like she just got out the shower. Anyway, Amber's about to show her weigh-in. I don't know, I've done like 17 air quotes in this video, sorry. But yeah, we're about to see Amber's weigh-in, so let's have a look at that, shall we?
Wait. And here we go.
So this is by far the most comfortable out of the 4 videos that we've covered that Rachel seems. I think she's back in full swing at this point. I think she's feeling confident about the fact that she's not getting as many hate messages. She's confident about the views that she's getting, and probably knows that ultimately, even though her subscribers are still going down, there is going to be a point where they start going up again. And we've seen that with Hector Kana as well. I don't think we need her to, Veronica, to weigh in. No. I honestly, I feel like people's weights are the least interesting part about all of this. I'm here for the behavioral stuff.
Oh, 518, so you lost.
So it's a photo of a scale. Okay, she is claiming to be 518 pounds. Now, this is how I know that this is not real. Number one, this scale that she's using has a tear button. So I'll put a zoomed in picture here. As you can see, there's a tear button. So I expect what she's done is taken Twinkie, or maybe not Twinkie.
No, she's not. She's not a skinny mini. Oh, those words are forever ruined for me with Deb and Eugenia. The only thing I would, I guess, urge you to keep in mind is that I know that making fun of people's appearance when it comes to Amber or Rachel is funny because it's Amber and Rachel, and we totally get that. I'm just mindful of people that might be in the chat, you know, reading what's being said, looking at Rachel and going, well, I'm bigger than her, so what does that make me? And sometimes comments are going to be taken on by people that they're not directed at, which is why I generally don't speak about this kind of thing. And in all honesty, I'm not a skinny mini either. You know, I am what I am. My body is strong. It does what I need it to do. We've talked about this quite a bit. I'm fit enough for what I need to achieve, but like, I just don't think that we need to necessarily bring emphasis on weight. Making fun of Amber's weight is so lazy at this point. Yes, let's get creative. It's quite messed up now you think about it, but your mum shared her condition story. So at about 12 or 13, you decided to also adopt the condition. At 16, like, yes, I resonate with that also. I was being taught some very unhealthy habits very, very young, very young. You don't care how much Amber weighs. She could just be real about it. Yeah. But I think it's more, I'd say in this context, it's less about her and more about whatever narrative the show has decided to run with.
She's probably not heavy enough, or like a potted plant or a shit ton of Lego, and she's stacked it all up on the scale, and then she's pressed tear so that when she steps on...
Yeah, point well taken, Ms. Lemon. You're right, Vera. To be clear, the comment I made wasn't about size in general. It's about Rachel criticizing Amber for not meeting the standard when Rachel also doesn't. Yes. And that is a really, really solid clarification. So just if there was anybody in the chat that, you know, was feeling that way, there you go. That's the point.
It takes away like 60 pounds or something like that, or more. In one of the previous videos, there was a little slip where you can see that the scale shows 300 kilos, which is 660 pounds, which I think is probably more likely. But yeah, so she's like absolutely lying about this weigh-in. There's no way that this is real.
Rachel, you have some mean girl on your face.
Her claiming to be 518 pounds would be quite a significant loss from where we know she was. It would be like a 40 pound or so loss. But we know she's dating Emily again. Emily's been away in Disneyland, and Disney World, not Disneyland. Sorry, we have Disneyland Paris in Europe. So I call it Disneyland, but it's actually Disney World, I think.
New main fair. I like your comment. The same can be said a lot for the Amber talk. There are a lot of people who are less able getting caught in the fallout of hygiene criticism. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have never talked about the Whitegate situation just because I kind of feel the same way about that. I think that there are a lot of people with different situations in this world kind of getting by in the best way that they can. And although it absolutely is funny when it comes to Amber specifically, especially because of how entitled she was around it, and just the absolute absurdity of throwing out like washcloths that don't belong to you and things like that. But I would really hate to spread the message of anything that you need to do to get through this life is you know, funny to somebody. It's, I don't know, yeah, you get my point. Oh, Ms. Lemon, sorry if my initial comment hurt anyone. Heart. It was about Rachel being a hypocrite. Yeah, no, it's all good, Ms. Lemon. Don't worry, and don't feel like I was telling you off for it either. I just wanted to highlight just the vibe in here, just to make sure nobody was I don't want people to apply things that don't belong to them. I know that that's really easy to do. Not being able-bodied can feel like a moral failing, but it isn't. 100% dead not sleeping. Yeah. Completely agree about the ableism with the hygiene discussion. Also the sitting to cook. You get dizzy just if you stand up for too long. So I sit/stand. So yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I would ever say, because, you know, Hungry Fat Chick needs to make allowances for her body as well. The decision that Foodie has made to get the scooter, the only thing I would say about that is absolutely not to do with, you know, anybody else needing it, but I think she's made a decision there that will, in the long run, hinder her, because it's giving her more of a permission base to not move, when I think moving for her right now would be more beneficial. Vera, are you familiar with that dude Reed? Sam did a video on him recently. He has a master degree in faking weigh-ins and getting tons of donations for his weight loss. No, I am not familiar with that dude Reed nor Sam. I'll have to check it out. Yeah. I actually, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody sent me, and I think you might be here too. Somebody sent me a suggestion to look at on Patreon that looks really interesting about somebody doing that. But then I also saw Obese to Beast doing a video on that young man who's really trying to lose weight. I thought that might be a really nice, positive one. I felt very inspired by that one. Yeah, she got a scooter so she didn't have to move. Foodie really doesn't want to walk. No, she doesn't, but ultimately, you know, it's going to hinder her. She and I are a very similar age. She's a little bit older. And like right now, everything hurts with me. I can't imagine what it would feel like adding so much extra weight on top of it. But the only way out of it is going to be movement and diet, not, you know, getting a scooter that enables further, you know, immobile behavior. You think the problem with the hygiene discussion is not if or how Amber did or does things, but how little she considers others who lived with her? Yes. That ultimately is what makes it entertaining for the drama community. I'm just not super comfortable with the way everybody discusses it, but that's not my business, is it? I think Foodie's, yeah, somewhere around there. Around 43-ish, I think. Yes, exactly. I use mobility aids when I can't walk well. Foodie Beauty uses them to avoid walking. That is it in a nutshell. Makes you feel like crap when so many reactors are focused on how gross it makes her. Yes, she tends to be gross all in and of herself. We don't need to add things, but yeah. Look, that's my 2 cents. That's my little hygiene rant. Your other issue you do think if you live with people you need to try. With Amber, and the hygiene discussion is how ableist Amber is, and that Amber lied because of shame, informing shame. Oh, reinforcing? Ah. Oh, reinforcing shame. Gotcha. Yep. It's a tricky one. I just think it needs a bit of delicate touch, because you don't know who's doing what for what reason in life. We're all just here doing the best we can, trying to get by. Give it time. You bet she's going to use it to get around her apartment. I don't disagree with that, Nutty. I really don't. And Rosie in her scooter chair as well, for the same reason. It's all for the same reason. Like, if you need it, absolutely, but don't give yourself a reason not to move. And yes, heirloom items, or just don't with anybody else's for that matter. Like, they didn't belong to her. Buy your own and wash them. Don't be wasteful. A family member and you struggle with showers due to sensory issues, and for your trauma, at 4 you were put in a cold shower fully clothed, and people are so understanding of your struggles to shower. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just catching up. Hello, Southern Manita. Hi, 2 a.m. My goodness, that's dedication. I appreciate it.
So Amber would have been so mad at Emily for being away and spending time with her daughter and having family fun without Amber there, and she would have been eating her feelings like fucking crazy. So I do not believe for a second that she weighs 518 pounds, but I thought
I am so sorry to keep pausing her, but I'm feeling a little extra sassy tonight. The vibe that I'm getting from Rachel after seeing the 4 videos that she's just released, I actually think that she believes 100% of what Emily says. And I do have a problem with that, just because I think it's been clearly evidenced that Emily is not a reliable historian or a narrator for that matter. And while I do believe that she has been victimized by Amber, I also believe that Amber has been victimized by her. I don't think 100% of what was displayed is true. Even if the words were true, the context may be warped. And I would be hesitant to believe everything. But the way Rachel has been talking, it's very, very soft towards Emily.
show you all a portion of the Gorl World audience. This is what Amber is claiming, so we can all chuckle that she is expecting us to believe that.
Congratulations, good job, good work.
Thank you.
I'm very.
I don't know. The last few days, like I'm telling you, the beginning of the week, I was sucking bad, and then I was like, "Fuck, my weigh-in's coming up," so I tried really hard, and
yeah. Bullshit.
Oh, you did it.
Yours always trip me out, PT, because you take the pictures from the weirdest fucking angles. Hold up.
I don't know why it ends up looking like that every time.
Yo, where the fuck did that pop?
Do you think it's possible Rachel has a crush still on Emily and is kind of upset? She's not Emily's type. Is she not? Also, I know that we've had this conversation before. I think, when it comes to SEAL preference, right? If you think about, I think everybody has a type, right? Think about your type. Does that mean that you would only exclusively date within that type? Or do you feel like there might be the odd individual that kind of rises above the usual type? Maybe they stood out in a different way. I also think with Emily's particular predilection, I don't think you necessarily need to start at a certain physique to match the type, if that makes sense. I'm really trying to dance around these words. I hope you are understanding me. Sorry, Veronica. Rachel and Emily sitting in a tree. How old are we? Some people have broader preferences than others. Yes. But I don't know. I think there's something more there. I have zero proof, so don't be quoting me on that. It's just a feeling. I can feel it in my jellies. Oh. Well, that's a dark twist, Veronica. I don't know if I can. I don't even think I could say that. That would violate a certain policy. But you go with your bad self over there.
Up.
So I believe that Sweet Tea is trying to gain weight. Also now seems like as good a time as any to mention Fat Camp. So I don't know a massive amount about what Fat Camp is. I think they've done it once before, but basically loads of hosts in the LCU go somewhere, I don't know where it is, and spend 2 weeks taking part in Fat Camp. I have no idea when in the year it's supposed to be, but I do know that they keep mentioning it. However, there is absolutely no way on God's green earth that Amberlynn Reid is going to go to Fat Camp. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and I hope that I'm wrong, because the content will be amazingly hilarious if Amber goes to Fat Camp. But with her narcissism and her
do you get in trouble for things like that said in chat? Bobe, no. You are all on a very different set of rules. I think even text applied to the screen is still fairly minimally monitored at this point, although now that YouTube has introduced AI fighting AI, it's possible that might change, at which point some of my videos might be in trouble. But no, you pretty much just can't say the really explicit stuff in the chat, and at that point it's beyond, you know, my control or anything like that. It just gets removed, I believe. So hello, Eveling. So yeah, no, you guys can be a little bit more free, but I can't read them. But that's okay.
controlling issues, there is absolutely no way she will give up the control and let Keemstar of all people film her exercising and weighing in real life. She's going to try and get her monetization back, and she's going to get back on her own channel. The LCU will be a blink in her history. There is no fucking way she's going to go to Fat Camp. But I just thought it was worth mentioning because it will come up later in the video as well. Sweet Tea, I think, weighs like 150 pounds or something, and she's trying to lose weight. Or no, she's trying to gain weight for Fat Camp, but I just thought I'd let you guys know. We won't watch Sweet Tea's part of the weigh-in because it's not particularly interesting, no offence to Sweet Tea. So that's the weigh-in. That bit was semi-interesting, you know, worth looking at. But then there's this bit which is gonna make you all be like, what the actual fuck? But basically, Amber mentions Beck once again. There's this part of the live where they're talking about people having sex with other people, and somebody says that Amber smells and that's why Beck never went down on her. Okay, so let's dive.
Why does this need to be a topic? Why? Diamond, hello. What a time to jump in. We are watching Rachel make a return back to her smug self in Gorl World, essentially. And it's gonna work. I know it is. It's Amber's world. We all just live in it. Actually, the undisputed queen of the universe is indeed my silky hen, Miss Salt. Anybody who doesn't or isn't aware of such a fact, well, you're just living in ignorance. So it is Salt's world and we are just living in it. Does Rachel's filler laugh sound like Sans from Undertale? I am unfamiliar with this. Does it?
Dive in. It's 35 minutes 57 in this live, and let's have a little watch of what Amber says, because you are gonna fucking cringe.
I agree 100% with everything.
I'm so sorry to keep pausing. Now I'm getting chicken questions. So Salt was one of the two Silkies that got the fan. It's actually her BFF, Miss Pep, that needed the fan, but they're a little duo and they can't really be separated, so Salt also gets the fan. But yes, she was the white one in that video. We love a silky chicken, me too. They're just, I don't know, there's something different about silkies. They're wild, and they're little agents of chaos, and it's just great. What are the chances that Fat Camp thing wouldn't be the same fake scripted mess? I think that the chances of it being exactly the same fake scripted mess is 100%. And 2 weeks is nothing. Like, anybody who's ever, you know, done a weight loss thing, you know, 2 weeks is, you can't do anything meaningful in 2 weeks. There's not even new habits that are set up in 2 weeks. Only animals are allowed to act like the world revolves around them. Yes, the more entitled an animal, the more I feel like I have done the right thing by them. You only had regular chickens, but your neighbors had silkies. They're pretty great.
Yes, I was with Beck for almost 5 years. I never went down on them, and they never went down on me because of my decision. Beck begged, I said no. Beck begged, I said no.
Did you hear that? I might just run it back for you, just in case there's any chance that you missed that.
Yes, I was with Beck for almost 5 years. I never went down on them, and they never went down on me because of my decision. Beck begged, I said no. Beck begged, I said no.
Oh yeah, thanks Rachel. We needed that twice. That was good. Actually, that's probably the 4th time for me now. Silky bonnets. Yeah, something about silkies is they all seem to really like personal attention, and it doesn't surprise me that they would also enjoy, you know, being pampered and then put bonnets on. They love it. They'd sit there and let you preen them all day if they could. Salt needs a bonnet too. Salt has a mohawk. A bonnet would not fit. Hello, Woofer. Oh, she's so smart. Did you slowpokes catch what genius Rachel caught? It was a little bit like that, interpreting those song lyrics on that video that the last Rachel video I did. It's like, you just explained something that was really blatantly clear because it wasn't an intricate metaphor, it was literally said. Didn't need to know that. Seems far too personal. I agree. I don't think it's for the internet. But we just don't. It's just too much. It's very like, you know, teenagers who have just discovered themselves and bragging about that kind. That's what it's giving. Wish they'd stop talking about Beck. They've gone through enough and it's been years. I agree. And especially like right now, it's gross. And Rachel is trying to pose that it's gross, yet she did an entire video on it. So it's kind of, yeah.
Beck begged. So she's just gone on the internet and claimed that Beck, who was wiping Amber and allegedly cleaning her shitty washcloths and helping her with her bleeding issues, which she had because of her uterine cancer, which of course I would never take the piss out of because that's not funny. But the principle of it is that Beck was involved and saw Amber had these issues. She was bleeding for like 3 years. Do you think that Beck would beg to go down on Amber? I'll leave a little space for you to answer. I think the fuck not. And I think, frankly, it's like really fucking shitty that Amber would get on the internet and say this about Beck, but I honestly think this is just baiting Beck and trying to piss them off. Why the fucking fuck is she still talking about Beck? Beck is dealing with a serious medical condition and she cannot stop fucking talking about Beck.
Actually, that reminded me, in my last stream, somebody mentioned that Beck is actually doing caricatures or paintings of people's pets, like on commission. And I don't know if that's the sort of thing you would like to support, but their drawings are pretty cool. So apparently it's on their Instagram. I'm not sure what it is, but if somebody wants to link it and we can support, I'm all in support for sending business Beck's way. But this is just, I don't know. It's next level. Yes, Tarkwick. Why the friggin' frig is Rachel talking about Beck? So, on my stream, if we're going to talk about Beck, we're going to at least promote their business, or at least financial dealings that they can make money for their various, surgeries that they need to do. Rachel probably feels like she has a back pass because she got arm twisted into doing the right thing. Good point, Woofer. I think, yes. Ms. Lemon, Beck exists, Amber, and I took that personally. You stop breathing like that. Yes. We can talk about Beck because we haven't done them dirty. Yeah. And I know that there are people out there with some really strong opinions. I just... Sometimes I think people do the best they can. It's not always necessarily the option that everybody would choose in the same circumstance, but I'm confident that Beck is not a malicious person. Yeah.
And not only talking about them, but saying, like, embarrassing stuff like this. She's just said that Beck begged to go down on her. Are you fucking serious? I do not believe that that is true, and I think that's the kind of shitty fucking stuff that just shows what an actual horrible person she is. It's just like an actual abysmal, vile thing to do, you know?
I'll actually just note, I hadn't actually watched this video before. Maybe I should watch them before. I didn't know that there would be so much discussion about Beck. Otherwise, I would have... Maybe I'll just do my own edits, like Charlie Gold does for her streams. I kind of like that. And then I'm in control of what information is being distributed. Because I'm not comfortable with this either. I think what Rachel's doing is ick. I think what Amber's doing is ick. I think what the LCU is doing is ick. It's just all gross. Beck isn't perfect, and nobody claimed them to be, but they are a good person who deserve better than this. Yeah. Who of us is a perfect person and has made perfect decisions and actions in every situation? Beck was in survival mode for years. Yes. I unfortunately have been there. I'm sorry, Veronica. Yeah, and I feel like people that haven't been in that sort of situation are not going to understand, and that is wonderful for them if they can't get their mind into that space. That's a really big win for them, but it is grating, isn't it, to see. Always... Oh, I've heard of this creator. Is it... How do you say this? YMIA? Did edits of the lives, then redacted. It worked well. Yeah, I think that's the best way because then I'm in control. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I can do that because at least then, they're fairly quick edits. I don't need to do all of the extra stuff that I do for my videos. So then we can just watch them and cut through all the bits. Survival mode brings out something ugly in us because we're desperate. Yeah, and I think also, like in my situation with my mother, for example, I was absolutely in a survival mode, and it was causing me to have a very warped perspective of how the world worked. In my case, of course, it had been since birth, so like there was no other point of reference, but I think there's a certain amount of acceptance for certain actions that can, you deserve a bit of grace when you're in that situation. And in a relationship with somebody like Amber, I wouldn't doubt that there would be a lot of gaslighting, and I'm sure that the perception of reality was altered in some way. Oh, Yumiya? Okay, cool. I was ambiently aware of this creator. I think they came up around the same time I did. I think it's still a smallish channel. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out because I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about it.
Let's watch a little bit more because I just love to cringe.
Did we have sex and do other things? Yes, in the beginning of our relationship, a lot. But that is my insecurities, not because of smelly Lynn, bitch. It's because
a
of
common.
PTSD. It's because of trauma. It's because this and that and that and this, okay? So
Imagine calling your trauma that is so bad that you can't sleep with your partner this and that and that and this. Like, what do you mean? It's just, ugh. And anyway, she's about to tell us to fuck off, so let's just listen to the sweet sounds of that.
In all fairness, Rachel, I don't really want to hear your opinion on it either. I just don't.
oh, fuck you. I fucking
you.
hate you. Like, genuinely, you're like a disgusting human being. All right, on to the next one.
Yeah, I
So there you go. That was that. My God. Sweet Tea's going to share a little story now. You know, whatever, we'll play it. And then she goes on to say, with my girlfriend now, all the time, all the time. That could be true, but to be honest, more fool Emily. More fool anyone who goes near her when her hygiene problems are what they are. And I'm not really trying to shame her for it, because I know at her size it can be hard to wash and talc and keep dry, and I understand that it's difficult, but I just think that if she had those problems and wasn't a raging arsehole, nobody would take the piss out of them. But it's the fact that she says stuff like this that it brings up like a rise in me to be like, girl, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to overlook that. I'm not just going to be like, oh, she's fat, so I don't want to be nasty about it.
You really don't like any SEAL talk coming from ALR. Nobody needs to know. No, and something that struck me, you know, when Beck and Destiny were doing the tell-alls, it was really done in quite a, I feel like classy is the wrong word, but I don't know, the delivery was much, although it was quite telling, it was just a lot better. Whereas Amber gets very vulgar with it.
I feel sorry for her. She can't wipe. It's not her fault. No, she's being such a fucking bitch, talking about Beck begging to go down on her. I'm sorry, but she's kind of, I would argue, high key asking for this kind of commentary, right? I mean, that's exactly what this show is. So that was a clip that I felt I couldn't not show you. Let's watch a little tiny bit more while Sweet Tea tells us, and I think there's something else that's worth mentioning.
pretty self-conscious about people going down on me. I would have to be in a relationship with them for a very long time before I would do that.
Like, with my current...
I'm just going to pause. It's really strange that Sweet Tea just shared that, like, oh, I would need to be in a relationship with them for quite a long time in order for me to be comfortable to do that. Amber has always claimed that she can only have sex with somebody if she's in love with them, and that she would need to be in a relationship with them to be willing to do this kind of stuff. Sweet Tea shares that, and Amber doesn't respond, doesn't answer, doesn't encourage the conversation, doesn't go, oh, that's interesting, Sweet Tea. Nobody ever fucking goes, oh, that's interesting, Sweet Tea, to her. Everything she says just gets fucking ignored, and then Amber immediately turns it back and makes it about herself. Listen to this.
My girlfriend, like, all the time, let's do it. My past girlfriend, Feline, all the time, let's do it.
So she just said, all the time, let's do it, about Emily. So as it stands right now, as far as we know, she hasn't seen Emily for like a year, but they're still in a relationship, and according to Amber, they...
And how does that make you feel? Anyone else feeling a little queasy? You feel like Amber's partners are too big a part of her identity to not talk about their S life. Getting a yelp for queasy, little bit. Yeah, it's your dad is the same way. He makes everything azul and it's gross. I really think, does it not remind you of teenagers though? I feel like that's a very teenage response, and especially if nothing's happened yet and it's like, you know, big talk, and I don't feel like this is what adults do. This is not how to adult.
Are doing it all the time. She's only spent 3 months with her this entire time. I know that Emily came to see her, and I think Emily's coming to see her again soon. At least I'm sure that's what she said in one of these episodes. But it's just so funny that she's so keen to be like, I'm really hypersexual, I have loads of sex. But girl, you don't even see your girlfriend. Like, what the hell? So sad.
This is awkward. This is really awkward. And this is why I say Rachel covering Amber is weird, and it's always going to be weird now because of what has happened. It feels like covering an ex's ex or an ex's current partner, and this kind of particular discussion is weird. Rachel sounds jelly. Your sister was very graphic in her late teens through her late 20s, but you don't know why she felt the need. Well, I wonder if it's kind of tied in a similar vein of, you know how I'm going to talk about young teenage girls because I was one, and so I can relate a lot better. But you know how you, like, when you're 12 or 13, you want to, like, dress up in mum's clothes, and you want to wear the makeup, and you want to wear the high heels. It's like, because it's emulating adulthood, and I kind of wonder if it's in the same vein. Very awkward, but so entertaining. Bobet, for shame. Rachel covering Amber has always been weird. Like she is personally mad with her. Yeah, I am really interested in getting into some of those older videos because I kind of tuned in with Rachel right before all of this quote-unquote tea was dropped. So I kind of caught all of the devastating bits. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm going to do them all. I wish I had that Millie Bobby Brown video. I can't get that one. And long-term Rachel viewers say that there is some stuff there.
Because
By the way, can I just add, it's not sad because they're in a long-distance relationship. Loads of people have long-distance relationships. I get that. But it's the fact that she's on the internet.
Sorry to pause again. Asha, yeah, trauma absolutely could be a response. I'd be curious to understand that mechanism. Perhaps being conditioned to act that way, or perhaps having been taught that that's how we conduct ourselves, or something along those lines.
Talking about it so much to almost, I would argue, overcompensate for it. That's what makes it sad, not being in a long-distance relationship. That's not sad.
Finally was like over the traumas of it all. And I'm so glad that I'm able to heal from that. Don't let anyone ever make you feel guilty for not wanting to do certain sexual acts. Like, that is disgusting.
She has lied about people doing this to her before. So she's like almost trying to white knight for this thing. And she does it a bit later about racism. We'll get into it. But she's basically saying, oh, this is something that is so bad. Never let anyone make you feel like you have to do.
They're the same person. I really need to do that video. They are the same person. Rachel is doing exactly what Rachel is saying Amber is doing right now.
Something you don't want to do, but she's only doing that and talking about it so confidently to make it seem like she hasn't lied about that in the past, right? We all know she has. She's a fucking piece of shit. Sorry, but I'm done, like, dispensed with all the politeness. If there's something that needs, you know, whatever the word is, I guess I'm sick of this word, but nuance, or to be fair, or say like, oh no, that's fair enough, I'll say that if I think it. But if I think you're being a
You wonder how Rachel's girlfriend feels about her continuing to talk about Emily. When all of this went down, and I'm covering it, I said to my husband, how would you feel if I was flirting with one of the girl's exes to get tea? And he just gave me this side-eye look. It's just like, what? Look, in my marriage, from either party, that would be considered unacceptable. But maybe they don't have the same sort of relationship that you or I might have. You know, there's a lot of different types of relationships in the world. Maybe the girlfriend was in on it. I don't know. That's the saying, takes one to know one. Yes. Will the real Pookie Lynn please stand up, Darkwick? That is the most glorious millennial reference that I think I wish I could pin this as the theme for the stream. Trauma produces such a wide range of responses. You experienced trauma too, and your behavior as a teen was letting someone, so it couldn't be that. And I think I was viewed in a certain way for that. Yeah, it is true, and it does complicate things a lot when trying to predict behavior when we're factoring in trauma. And yeah,
raging piece of shit. I will also say that. And that's what I think right now. So
Shut up with your fucking elephant leg, your swamp ass bullshit. You're nothing but fat phobic assholes. Point blank pure.
That's good. Yeah.
I don't think it's very fat phobic. Sorry, I'm late on the pause. I don't think it's very fat phobic to believe multiple partners who have said that you smell bad. And we know that you can't wipe properly, so it's not like a huge jump to assume that she smells bad, you know?
You shouldn't never feel pressure.
I don't like that. I don't like it. At the risk of sounding like Pauline Hanson there. I don't like that statement. I just yeah. You're so sick of Amber claiming everything is fatphobic. Yes, at this point, I don't really know what fatphobic is in the realm of Amber. Would you like me to skip a bit? Are we all feeling a little uncomfortable here? If people are getting genuine entertainment out of it, I will not rob you from this experience. I'm going to keep it playing. Let me know.
Pressured into doing anything sexual.
Exactly. I'm so tired of people bringing that up like it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Like,
that is. They
anyways,
probably in their mama's basements don't have a girlfriend to begin with, so.
yeah,
All right.
probably.
So,
Okay, so that's that on that. We'll leave that there for now. Going to move on to this other little section. So there's a bit here where Amber talks about how she pulls people and how she gets hit on and her lesbianism and all of that. So we'll touch on that for a second. Okay, I think I've got to it. Let's see.
Red 77 super chatted $20. ALR I used to weigh 380. I never had issues getting a man once I lost weight. Men just wanted to use me. You're beautiful no matter what.
Oh, and I actually just realized that I didn't speed her up. I normally do that. I was remiss. I'm sorry. We'll speed her up a scooch and we'll skip to the next bit. She's got chapters. Okay. Well, these chapters say a lot. I haven't actually heard this bit. I think that's what she's getting into now. And, you know, speaking of this topic, I'm just going to let the video play for a bit. I'll step away, but I can still hear everything.
Size you are.
Thank
Yes, you are, Amber.
And listen, that's a misconception. I get hit on by men so fucking much in front of.
Do we think that's true? Maybe. I have said this once before, that if your type is huge women, a lot of those type of people that are that size can't get out of the house very much or don't go out very often. So if you're out and about and you see someone who's your type, you need to shoot your shot, because God knows the next time they'll be out of the house, right? Maybe not that much. That's not being fat phobic, it's just literally true. People that are that large often struggle to move and you're not going to see them out very often. So if you're into huge people and you see a huge woman, you might have to hit on her then and there, because you don't know if you're going to see her again. How many 500 and something pound people do you see? At least where I live, none. Literally none. Never. So I don't know, but that is the only thing that I sometimes do think when she says she gets hit on all the time. Maybe that's where she's coming from when she claims that, but I think probably it's not true and she just says it because she wants to seem desirable and like people would want her. But actually I think it's more likely that they feel bad for her and they're just like, oh, cute outfit, or oh, your hair looks nice, because they know that she probably doesn't get any attention, so they're just doing it out of like pity, I guess.
Of my girlfriend, in front of my mom, in front of my stepdad, alone, it does not matter. Men like a fat fucking girl. I don't know what it is. When I moved to Oklahoma, I was like a piece of meat. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I say no every single time. A lot of people are like, Emily's a lesbian because she can't get a man. I can get a man.
Stupid.
I can also get a woman.
Christ, it's vile. I do think the whole Amber's gay because she can't get a man is like really homophobic, to be honest. Like not just to her, but generally, you do get a lot of that. Like, oh, you're so pretty. Why are you a lesbian? Well, because I like women. That's what that means. So I don't like that argument, but I have in the past struggled with the belief that Amber is actually a lesbian, not because of her being fat. It's more just because the way she behaves and the way she speaks and various other stuff about her. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the last stream too. I think we all kind of collectively agree that there's something wrong with this, although I maintain that this doesn't really matter. I don't really care, you know, what she's into. Yeah, Rachel's 29. She's turning 30 this year. No, you totally believe regardless, Amber could totally get a man. Like, regardless, I agree she could get them on, and as a woman who likes other women, aka lesbian, then let's say that. Yeah. I am live. Hello, Betty Bunny. Hi. I'm trying out a new time slot, and it appears to be popular, so I'm thinking I'll keep it. You thought based on her behavior she was way younger, which is really funny because I originally aged her quite badly in one of my videos, and now I don't guess people's ages like ever because it wasn't a shot I meant to take. It's just, yeah. Apparently I'm bad at gauging ages.
Know if I really believe deep down, being completely honest, that she's actually a lesbian. However, I don't want to like get into that or like make a big video about it and be like, Amber Lynn Reed's not a lesbian, because like I don't fucking know. It's not my place to say. But I'm comfortable being like, girl, to be honest, I kind of side eye it, but that's about as far as I'm willing to go. Some of her behavior just sort of gives performative lesbianism, or like she thinks it's dainty, or she thinks it's cute or unique, or she finds that women are easier to manipulate or something like that, or there's some kind of deep misogyny going on. I don't know what it is, but the way she speaks, the way she always talks about vulva and her vagina and other people's vaginas, I guess I just don't really believe it. But I know I could be wrong, and I would never, like in Amber's words, stand 10 toes down on that being the case, but you know, I thought it was worth mentioning. Let's listen to a little bit more.
I'm literally, trust me.
I feel like getting a woman when you're bigger would be harder than getting a man, because men are like chubby chasers, a lot of them.
There's a lot of generalization going on here. I don't think any gender is more chubby chasey than the other. Like, there's just a mixture. All different genders like all different people, right? I think maybe sometimes in my experience, women can be...
Yeah, it's a bias based on like numbers because, sorry, one moment. Statistically, there are more straight people in the world than there are gay people, which means that if you're out and about and you see people hitting on people, statistically, you're going to be more likely to see a straight interaction than you are a gay one, especially if you're living in certain parts of the world and things like that. So it is like a confirmation bias, almost. Rachel clutches her necklace when she's being more herself. Ooh, slash bitchy. Interesting. You think it's like a subconscious self-protecting gesture. Interestingly, I had observed in the previous videos that she was doing a lot of hair stroking, which she doesn't normally do, which would be, or could be considered a self-soothing mechanism, and somebody else pointed that out as well. But yeah, I think she might be feeling more confident, maybe. Interesting. Yeah, that's right. Ride, she was 29 last year, she's turning 30 this year at some point. I can't remember her birthday.
Less judgmental, but then again, some men really like big people and everyone has different tastes, so I don't think there's like hard and fast rules about this. People are into different stuff, aren't they? I think like your chat and how you approach someone and your confidence is way more important than like how fat you are.
They are. I get them all. Listen.
You know, I will agree with that. Like you said earlier, like I honestly do feel this way. This isn't me glazing. I feel like you're very attractive. With weight and everything considered, you are very attractive. I
think that if that's his opinion, that's fine. Look at Sweet Tea's face though. Sweet Tea's face is like, she does not agree.
I feel that. And there are, some that are not as attractive at the same, it's a very real possibility.
I think for every size person.
Amber or Foodie Beauty? Who's sexier to you?
Amber.
Me
not
too.
even close. Not even close. Sorry.
Look how happy she is. Like, she loves that a man would say that she's more attractive than Foodie Beauty. I think that it's a pointless comparison. I think they're both as hideous as each other in different ways. It's a complete, like, ridiculous question. Would you rather date this person or this person? You know, it's I tell you what I'll do. I just won't date anyone. I'll just take myself out. Yeah. No.
Foodie Beauty, sorry, Amber, not even close. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not fucking hard. I just got a call, so I have no idea what I was just saying. I think it was something about Foodie Beauty being unfuckable, but it's not like Amber's getting any either. So anyway, let's carry on.
I used to call her Foodie Booty because I thought that was what her name was.
That would be a good name for her.
I learned of her before I learned of Amber Lynn Reed. Like, my mom used to watch Foodie Booty stuff like 8 months ago, before she was even the LCO. I'm like, who the
Yeah, I kind of had that reaction too, Veronica. Yeah, I find, just regarding the, like, body language stuff, I find it so interesting, but it became a little bit of a hyperfixation for a time, and it does seem like there's no like hard and fast rules that can be applied to everybody in every situation. It's more of a contextual art form, taking in many cues and things like that. So it is possible that that's how she's feeling, or it could just be a habit and nothing. Didn't mean to start the age discussion. Don't apologize at all. It's an interesting take because, like, yeah, her maturity levels, her actions don't necessarily represent where we might put people at that age. But having said that, I wasn't exactly that well developed at that age either. So weird that his mum is on Longcalto, yeah, and their relationship is not off limits. Hello, Callie. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it.
The fuck is this person you're watching? She like obsessed over it. It was
so funny looking at Amber like pretending to give a fuck about someone other than herself. Okay, we're going to keep watching for a second because we're about to get onto the bedwetting, so let's just get through this. If there's any weird cuts here, it's because I chopped out something that wasn't interesting.
funny. Oh yeah.
I don't want a fucking man, bro. A man wants me. But the thing is, I'm not a fucking prude, so I will talk about dick all day long. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean I want dick, because if I wanted dick, I would have a dick in my mouth. I'm 35 fucking years old, bro, and I still have never had one because I don't want one.
Oh, I can't with this. I'm gonna skip a bit.
Just dating a man because that's expected of you, honestly.
Oh,
That's as if she wouldn't do that anyway. And to be honest, she's always like,
you know,
if someone pay pig,
begging for money.
You know,
I'm like a good pay pig. It makes me feel, like I did something right in my life.
Receiving a pay pig on the LCU makes Amber feel like she did something right in her life. I think that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Okay, there's going to be an awkward cut here while I find the bedwetting bit.
I think that's a fucking bed, bro. What is all this wet the bed shit? Like,
they were all making fun of us. All the detractor channels were making fun of us because we said that we wet the bed until we...
Okay, so what actually happened was, as I understand it, Mr. Snowflake, somebody gave him the information that Amber wets the bed, and not just like when she was a kid, but recently. These three were all talking about how they all wetted the bed, like later in life, or, not as adults, but later in childhood, because of various trauma and stuff. And like, that's really bad. And kids who wet the bed, that's really hard for them to deal with. And I'm never going to be like, oh, you wet the bed when you were a kid, like it's fucking childish. But I think that as an adult, letting yourself get so very fat that you can't get to the toilet in time because you can't move is sad, but you still can't piss in other people's beds, right? And that was what was initially being referred to. Now they're about to talk about their trauma and bedwetting and stuff, so just be prepared. But that's where that like actually came from,
We were pretty older.
I apologize.
That's not okay. I wet the bed because I was SA'd and I was scared of my dad because of how many drugs he was on.
So did you just see that, right? She goes, I wet the bed because I was SA'd and because I was scared of my dad because of how many drugs he was on. And then she goes and like looks off to the side. So did you wet the bed because you were SA'd, or did you wet the bed because you were scared of how many drugs your dad was on? I don't know which it was, and like both are bad. If either of them happened, I know her dad was on drugs. But yeah, no one was taking the piss, as far as I'm aware, out of her wetting the bed as a child. It was doing it as an adult that they were talking about, just to be clear, I think.
I wet the bed from molestation as well.
So I didn't actually watch that Mr. Snowflake video. I'm aware of which one they're referencing. But does anyone know, did he cite his sources with this stuff? Or was it kind of just, I guess, rumor mongering kind of behavior? I'd be interested to know.
It's trauma, bro. That is fucking disgusting. The detractors, they're gonna find karma, and I'm so excited when they do. I'm gonna laugh. I don't care what.
Okay, so she's on a fucking rant, but yeah, so Sweet Tea just said she wet the bed because of a word I can't say, station. That's fucking awful. That's really sad and so awful.
Interesting. Bunnies, thank you. He just said it. It was more of a compilation of let's make up rumors about ALR. Okay. He said he's in talks with someone close to Amber. Sir needs to not be doing that. I'm curious if he's aware of the general vibe that the public has towards him and how much of a side eye he's getting. And I've been upfront that, he is a channel that really inspired my channel initially, but there have been some movements since the Emily expose that has some people a little on edge about the ethics involved. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing tangible that I can get my claws into. It's just all a little bit off at the moment. And I don't know if he's aware of how narrowly he skated past all of this drama, but yeah, just making up rumors is concerning. Hello, Alex. Hi. I cannot believe how many people there are in here that are normally in my other time slot. Rachel, fully embracing mean girl persona. Yes. Well, actually, I do think it is her real self. I think that's who she is, and I think she should be authentically her. I would have less of a problem with it if she was honest about it. It's the overlay of, you know, I'm putting myself on a pedestal and I'm so much smarter than all of you and I have a philosophy degree stuff. There are a few reaction channels as well that are giving him the side eye. Yes. It's interesting times.
And shit. But yeah, like I keep saying, that's not what people were laughing at. And Amber just, again, makes it about herself, right? Sweetie just gave this bit of information up that she had.
Sorry. Pausing again. I know, I'm sorry. See, the problem is I get bored with what I'm watching and I'm so much more interested in what you're all saying, which does not make for a good live stream necessarily. I'm aware. Hang on a second. I also, I think it's interesting the groups that are made, which is why this Chukin is an island, and I will maintain my island ship. But I did notice that somebody requested in one of Hector Kana's videos if he would do an expose on Snowflake, and Hector Kana's response was, I'm still on good terms with Mr. Snowflake, and he was one of 2 reaction channels that checked on me while I was away. So the company that is kept, I think is interesting. Rachel acts holier than thou. She does, yeah. Although I've been watching a little bit of Zachary Michael lately, and I noticed that people are also labeling him or them with that. Sorry, I know he has both of those pronouns on his page, so but yeah, I don't know. I feel I've also had those words thrown at me. Everybody's ethical lines are different. That's okay. It's what makes this all interesting.
Had this experience, and there's no, oh man, sweet tea, like that's really shit, I'm really sorry that happened to you, that's so awful, which is what you would do if you weren't a fucking sicko. Someone's just disclosed their essay to you, I think anyway, you would be like, Jesus, that's so shit, like I'm so sorry. But no, Amber just rages at the chat and makes it about herself, because as we all know, she doesn't give a shit about anyone else. That's how that reads to me anyway.
What happens to them, I will be laughing.
Callie on Twitch just asked, so there are things to expose Snowflake for, it's just Hector Kana doesn't want to do it, huh? Well, people have been asking me to cover Snowflake for quite a while, and I keep saying to people, give me receipts, give me proof, give me something to work off other than just a feeling or a rumor or something that you saw in a Discord that didn't quite sit right. You know, so I need something verifiable, essentially. But nobody can actually give me anything. And I will, sorry, my stomach is rumbling. My goodness, that's professional. Because I don't want to just do a video, you know, just on rumors or things that are kind of floating around. But if I had something tangible and there actually was something to it, then I would also, because I cover problematic reaction channels, but I don't know. All I know is that there is a lot of smoke around him, but we cannot actually prove that there is a fire. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there is a fire. It's just everybody's a little sus. Snowflake is the final boss of the Discord scandal. Yes. You've never heard an Aussie cover Gorl World. Hello. Hello from Brisbane. How nice to see you here. You've never heard of Pulpy. I think he's like the OG Aussie doing it. I'm a follow-up.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It really hurt my feelings.
Mine, like I've talked a little bit about myself, like mine was trauma-based as well, and I don't even want to get into it, but like, yeah, that's a fucked up thing to do.
You
Like,
don't have to.
there's so many things
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to stop there for this bit of the video, but I think they're kind of misunderstanding or misinterpreting what happened. Unless people were laughing at them after the fact for wetting the bed as kids, then I think that that's fucked up. I don't know who did it, whoever it was, I think that that's kind of fucked up. But yeah, it was Amber as an adult pissing Emily's bed, as I understand it. I think that was actually what was going on. So there's a couple bits left that I want to show you. The first thing is just this bit of hypocrisy where Amber is talking about how Boogie fakes illnesses. Boogie is Boogie2988. He's the guy who died of cancer. Everyone I think knows who he is. He's quite big in the LCU. He runs Lolcow Live, which is one of the many LCU shows. He is extremely provocative and divisive on purpose. He rage baits. He's frankly horrendous, like actually unwatchable. And as I understand it, one of the things that he's done is threaten violence on people. And as a result, the guys on the show on that Lolcow bus are talking about whether or not Keemstar should let him go to fat camp. Okay, that's what they're talking about right now. And then you're going to hear Amber say like some of the most ironic stuff I think I've ever heard. So let's dive into that. 1 hour, 17 minutes, 10 seconds. Let's have a chat about Boogie at fat camp and Amber being an absolute fucking hypocrite. Here we go.
Now, what do you say to the people that say that, well, Boogie goes around threatening to do shit all the time? Why is he going to fat camp? What are your guys' take on that?
Because
you cannot watch when Poppy Syntax covers foodie. You went to join a live the other day and you left when you saw the word boil. There was a boil situation. There really was. It's a lot. You're sure in time Snowflake will get ousted if he's doing sus activities? It will come out. Yeah, he does seem good at covering his tracks. That's why I'm just not sure if there is something, and I don't want to be quoted as saying there's something because I just don't know. I'm hearing a lot of buzz from all of the nuggets about it, that's all. But I do think, in his defense, some of it is just his sense of humor. And, you know, people's sense of humors, especially when we're talking about, like, different countries have very different vibes to their sense of humor. Some people don't take everything he says super well. As an Aussie looking at it, I can tell you a lot of what he does is tongue-in-cheek and not at all to be taken seriously. But it's just one of those cultural difference things. People have even had a problem with my sense of humor calling everyone nuggets, taking it in a very bad way. The air around him is vibrating with sus energy. That is a good way of putting it. Got your name updated so you can participate in the chat? Oh, yay, Emily! What were you before? You don't watch him and Snowflake anymore. Both him and Rachel are insufferable poms who love the sound of their own voice. Mr. Snowflake makes you laugh hysterically. Yeah, I think he's funny too. I have liked his content. There was an Aussie Kiwi Farms joke? Oh, did I miss something? Oh, no, I've missed it. I'm sorry.
he pretty much, alongside Keem, owns the LCU.
So he gets a free pass, you think?
Oh, I've got you, Emily. Okay, and that's good because it shows when I put my Cluckers list at the end as well, and I always have to go through, and anything that looks remotely like a full name, I like shorten the last name and just put a dot.
Boogie?
Yep.
Does he deserve that free pass?
It's his company.
Well, Boogie is very performative.
Kind of.
We don't know. Steak actually does have the schizophrenia and everything.
That's
we
true,
kind of
too.
know.
So I'm just going to pause for 1 second. So Sweet Tea's saying Boogie is performative. He is. In a minute, we're going to get into the performative racism or the rage bait racism and Amber not reacting and all of that stuff. We're coming to that in a second. But I just want to give like a little bit of a nod to, yes, these two are talking.
Thank you, Geek, for the offer. I definitely, as like my little code of ethics that I have for my channel that I operate by, I don't dig. I allow things to present before me. So definitely don't go like, voiding anyone's privacy or anything like that. If there is something to come out, it'll come out. He's kind of on my radar, so I will cover it if something comes out. But yeah, don't go digging into anyone. It's okay. But thank you, though. I really appreciate the offer.
Talking here about how Boogie is performative and his threats of violence are totally performative. I think everything he does is just for the show. There's no like reality to any of it. But I think that that's what's happening on all of these shows, including this one. There are moments where the conversation feels slightly more genuine, but for the most part, this is just completely fabricated drama that's totally fake and made up just for like content, basically. So I think there's kind of an irony, and it's almost like a weird kind of meta experience, watching people who are playing themselves on a show, a fake planned show, saying that somebody else is being performative. But let's let Amber say,
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Didn't dig, just watching a random channel. Even so though, even if a piece of information has been gotten unethically, I still don't want to repeat it. And I just, yeah, I'm fine with other people conducting their channels in the way that they want to, but I have my little set of rules. At Vera, the joke was asking if Aussies are allowed on Kiwi farms. Hey, put it this way. If we weren't, we'd play the card of New Zealand used to be part of Australia, okay? They don't like that card.
the most ironic thing you've probably ever heard in your life.
Oh, that Boogie is doing this for performance value. I don't feel as much he's a risk.
Boogie is very performative, fakes everything. Illnesses, mental health of it all, and probably this too, so...
Oh god, yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was something that should really be shared. Amber claims that Boogie fakes everything, fakes mental illness, and lies about illnesses. I think that the irony is so high, but as we all know, Amber has lied about many different diagnoses. I've made videos about some of them, notably the OCD, the BPD. She's lied about all different things. She's gone to the hospital over nothing and then used hospital visits over people. I don't think I've ever even mentioned this because there's just so much stuff that was going on, but when she was going through the stuff with Emily, she went to the hospital and was ringing Emily's phone over and over and over again because she was saying to Emily, like, oh, I'm having a heart attack, I'm in the hospital. Emily had to block her on everything, and I showed one receipt of Amber doing this at a different time, but Amber would cash app Emily.
Is now an awkward time to tell you that I'm kind of half New Zealand, half Australian. But I love that the little birds are no match for the Roo troops, especially not the big reds.
Emily money to be like, call me please answer the phone, and because there was no other way of getting through to her because she was blocked in every other way, she would literally cash app her 1 cent so that she would get the message on her phone. That is how deranged and crazy she is. But part of that was going to the hospital and lying.
Okay, so that screenshot that Rachel just showed was from her interactions with Emily. So already we're seeing her doing videos about Amber, and we've had quite a few of them, as I pointed out, but already she's bringing out the stuff that was from the videos that got her in trouble in the first place. There will be a cluck up, my nuggets. Mark my words.
Lying about being ill for attention. It's very hypocritical that she would say this.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of a difference there.
Okay, fair enough. No, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on that, 'cause that's been a thing bouncing around, I guess.
Okay, so that's that on that. And then finally, as I mentioned,
we don't speak about the Great Emu War of 1936, okay? Too soon.
The night before last, Amber went on Lolcow Live when Scooter quit Lolcow Bus. Amber went on Lolcow Live. I watched most of it. I didn't watch the whole way through, but she basically sat there on Lolcow Live whilst Boogie and the other guy, whose name I think is Steak, said loads of really questionable, really gross stuff. And there was much kind of commentary about the fact that Amber said nothing. She just sat there quietly with a little smile on her face or a little kind of awkward look. She did sometimes go, goodness me, or oh my god, or something, but she still sat there and effectively, I would argue, co-signed the show. And there's been some commentary where people have said that they feel she should have spoken up, and that if you sit idly by and do nothing whilst people are saying inappropriate things around you, it's like you condone it, which I think is fair. So what I'm going to quickly do is show you a little bit of that live, just to give you an idea of the kind of stuff that was happening. I'm not going to play anything really bad, but I'm going to well, actually, to be fair, it's quite bad, so kind of big trigger warning for SA and that sort of stuff. I imagine by now you would have clicked out if you don't want to hear that kind of thing, because you expect it in the LCU. It's full of absolute arseholes, but it's trauma dumping from Boogie, and Amber is sitting there watching. So I'm going to play this quick clip for you here, and there's a part where they use the R word. I don't like saying it, so I'm not going to say it, but it's used a lot in the LCU. And again, Amber,
is that the R word that Chantel really likes, that she's talking about there? I wonder if that's allowed. I wonder if she censored it. Why would she not censor it, though, if she doesn't like it? If you all enjoy this story of the Emu War, you should hear about what Alberta, the Canadian province, has done to the rats. Am I to imply from this that the rats won? Oh, wait, so I don't think you can say that word. I might need to skip this segment. If she hasn't been censoring, and I can't trust that, I'm just going to skip to the next segment, if that's cool. We will run out of time anyway. And in all honesty, like, if there's a trigger warning, I can't give you a trigger warning recovery point. So, yeah, let's just keep going.
And ones.
And ones too.
Fucking neck. If I didn't have a neck, I wouldn't have a head.
I don't know. Some people ain't got necks, like, you know, Zeta and that guy from 90 Day Fiance.
What?
No.
Sorry. More pausing. No. May June was not her first Clucker. It wasn't. It was in February. There's been a lot of them. Like, a lot. He unsubbed when the Instagram messages, yeah, were released. Yeah, but there was one before that, and now I can't remember the timeline. I need to go watch my own video. The apology video that I did, I actually did them in order of, like, offense. And there was definitely one earlier.
Let's not do that. No. Let's not do that. Let's not.
Did you hear that? She just said no neck back. Fucking scumbag.
Stop being a fucking simp.
I'm not being a simp. I'm just saying we should move on from that topic. We spent almost a week on that. I think we should move past it.
You're afraid of the haters.
I'm not.
Did you just see that? So they're talking about people having no neck. This isn't what this isn't what I intended to show you, but it's worth mentioning now we're here. Just in case you missed that, I'll chuck it here again. But Amber just said no neck back.
And ones too.
Fucking neck. If I didn't have a neck, I wouldn't have a head.
I don't know. Some people ain't got necks, like, you know, Zeta and that guy from 90 Day Fiance.
What?
No, let's not do that. No. Let's not do that. Let's not.
Stop being a fucking simp.
I'm not being a simp. I'm just saying we should move on from that topic. We spent almost a week.
We right at dawn. You were saying you were gullible, and took her at face value, but, like, I get a lot of people commenting that to me, saying I feel so stupid for believing in it. Like, it's not about us. She is believable in her delivery, and she was saying all the right things, and we were all suckered by it. But that doesn't say anything about us. It says about who she is and her level of manipulation and pretending to be somebody that she's not in such a horrendous way that, yeah, it's all about her, not us.
Week on that, I think we should move past it.
You're afraid of the haters.
I'm not.
Actually, for once, Scooter's being the voice of reason and saying let's move on from it, which they absolutely fucking should. Leave Beck fucking out of it. Like, why is it so bloody hard?
Afraid of the haters. I just feel like at this point, is there anything else to say? Like, I feel like we went through pretty much everything there
is a thing to say.
All right.
What a fucking bitch. No neck Beck is a thing to say. Like, oh my fucking god, how, like, horrible is that?
Has that been a nickname for her before?
Jesus.
Yeah, I've wanted it, and yeah.
They're saying no neck Lynn in the chat. I'm just saying.
So why won't you stick up for me?
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry, we're just here to try and find the bit where she insults this woman's appearance, but we've accidentally ended up watching the no neck Beck part. Okay, so it's somewhere here.
I have a little bit of meat on the bone, but I can acknowledge that I think she's attractive. To be honest with you, I mean, is she a fucking model? No, but I mean, she's pretty
That's
attractive
all
in
I'm
my
saying.
mind. All right,
I'm just saying that, like, she's like a 6 or 7.
Fair enough.
I was thinking a good 3.5.
Okay, so this is the girl here in the green shirt that they're talking about. So this is just Amber being, like, vile about someone's opinion.
When it comes to Rachel and her, like, she fully fooled everyone, like, without a doubt. And I was just reading Asha saying, I only have so much, sorry, one moment. Sorry. Reading that I only have so much time and energy, so I unsubscribe if I get an inkling that you're not right with a creator now after giving the benefit of the doubt too many times. The weight at which I see, you know, all of the preaching that Rachel did surrounding her philosophy and everything, and then finding out that she's just such a mean girl, which I feel like those two things are so polar opposite. The way I view that is if you were to all find out that I actually didn't have a traumatic childhood. It's like, it's the crux of her entire channel. It's everything. It's everything that she put forward and everything that she was about, and it underpinned all of the messages that she was delivering in her videos. It's I mean, I think it's fine to play if people want to play a character, but the way that was done and the topic at which it was done around is just so badly insincere. It's horrendous. You cast Rachel out for the first DV video as a survivor, then the second T video you were done. You got out early. You're the same and now you've learnt from Rachel. And can I say, as a creator and as a small channel, I have also learned a great deal from Rachel, like a lot, and I'm very grateful because at the time that this had happened, I don't know if you remember or if you were around at the time, but I got it into my head that like Snowflake had just done his Emily video, and I felt like all of her answers were so believable because she had had time to think about them and it was in a written form. And so I got into my head, I want to hear Amber's side of that because, you know, I'm all about growth and all of that. And I didn't really care if they were going to be ChatGPT answers. It was more about seeing how she curates it. And I was going to be able to pick it apart. I then got into my head, if she didn't respond, I was going to go talk to Emily. Then to find out, and then just on a whim, I just dropped it because I just didn't like the way it felt. It wasn't the direction that I wanted my channel to go. I want to report from the outside looking in. And then this Rachel stuff went down. And I'm like, yep, validated. I'm learning all of these lessons right here, right now as a small channel. And I'm going to carry this through now forever on my channel. So we're all learning from Rachel. Isn't that nice?
Appearance, I thought I'd just chuck it in because, like, why not?
Oh.
Okay, let me ask you this. Just like, how would you rate yourself?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an 8.
I think I'm an 8.
Scooter, what the fuck reaction was that?
I mean, you're saying
You're
she's
the one who started the show, and you like.
You do
got
look
written
very
up
nice
in
today.
phone.
You do, but I'm just saying, like, she's a 3.5 and you're an 8.
Well, she's a little plain.
Bitch, how are you comparing? You're going based off of skinny. Okay, hold up. I need someone who's really good at AI. Make this bitch my size right now and come at me and put it in our fucking shit and say who's more attractive then.
Okay, so Amber's like, everyone's beautiful, everyone looks great, whoever they are, but now all of a sudden she's shitting on this girl and calling her a 3.5. Like, what the actual fuck? But it does happen. Somebody does make an AI image of this woman being fat, and Scooter says that he thinks Amber is more beautiful than her. And once again, she's so happy about it.
All right, is it in our docket chat?
I'm so excited.
Dude, I would have
So
thought
this is Amber getting all excited to see this woman being made fat.
she was at least a fucking 7 if it wasn't for the way she just up and left like that at the end. That was so rude.
I didn't like her energy. Listen, I
didn't like her energy either.
I did not like her energy at all.
Yes.
Did you hear that? She just goes, I don't come for people's looks. I didn't like her energy. This is getting a little bit weird, but basically, Amber, this is just me trying to show you that Amber's like totally shaming this woman's appearance. Okay, we'll get to it. Here we go.
No.
I didn't see enough of that.
So Chrissy and fucking the second she was allowed to
here it is.
go, she fucking ran.
Okay, now I feel like they might have put a few extra 100 on her. I'm just gonna be.
No, Amber forced her to wait her legs. This woman.
So look at this. This is Amber and this woman who they've AI'd to make her fat, right? So here's Amber reacting to this woman who they've made fat for this picture.
I would like to know, why does Rachel think this is content to respond to? If I had have done my edit of this that we were discussing earlier, I would have ranked this as, I would have cut it out. This is silly to talk about. She was really convincing, but I studied psychology. Oh, it's still representing, though, that you are a good person that assumes people are going to represent themselves and to take them at face value, which I don't regard as a bad quality. It's still saying how adept she was at manipulation. I don't think it matters what way you look at it. It always boils down to, this is about Rachel being insincere, and that is a bad quality. Hector Kana asked for emails from survivors of narcissistic abuse and I sent him my story, and he made a video when the whole Rachel thing happened. I was so hurt. Oh no, Veronica. Wow, that is rough. Does he still have that up, or is that the one that he took down? Because I know that there's a couple surrounding this topic that he took down. That's why you felt disappointed. Yeah, I understand. The video is still up. Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. That doesn't feel good at all. I have thoughts on Hector Kana, but he's moved on now, so... She totally bamboozled us by her credentials. I love that use of bamboozled. That's wonderful. Oh, your story wasn't shared. Oh, good. Oh, so Veronica's one was and Asha's wasn't. Jeez. Yeah, that is rough. And see, that's the thing. If you're going to conduct yourself on that level, you need to make sure that you're conducting yourself with the right set of ethics and morals, because you're dealing with people's stories, people's lives, people's lived experience. You can't then turn around and do what he was doing. Insincere and disingenuous. Yep.
Picture for this bit of the show. This is so strange, and Amber is like so obsessed with appearance. She always says, oh, everyone's beautiful, but the moment that she has a chance, she will insult somebody's appearance, and this is a perfect example of it. They've just taken this woman, I have no idea who she is, I just know that Amber insisted that she's prettier than her, so they've made her fat so that they can compare, right? And now Scooter's going to say who he thinks is more attractive, but this whole thing is just so strange. Amber is so obsessed with being beautiful. It's really narcissistic.
I would have stored it somewhere else.
So who's more attractive?
I mean, between her and you, I mean, you in this scenario.
You're starting to look more like a 3 now.
Bitch, you can make me skinny like her too. AI got it all. AI would know exactly what I look like skinny, and I'd still be more attractive than her. Like, come on.
Yeah, she's not.
It's just so fucking obsessed with herself. Anyway, in a second, Scooter actually does call her out and like mention the fact that she's always talking about people's appearances. That's the final little bit that we'll quickly watch here.
Now, Amberlyn, you have this tendency. You get a little upset, like if people talk about your appearance and stuff, right?
Okay.
And fair enough. But you have a tendency to like go after everybody else's appearance.
So,
I don't
know.
Are we talking about that girl? Her going against that girl?
I don't see it that way. Her energy made her ugly. So then it made her look.
Did she really say that? Oh, no. This is such a silly conversation. But Amber. Oh, we want to talk about energy and looks? No.
Looks ugly.
Do you see the absolute unbelievable irony? Like, seriously, of Amberlyn claiming that somebody else's energy makes...
Sorry, Veronica, did you send a link? I don't think it came through. Let me check. Yeah, no. Looks like it's been blocked. Can you just tell me the title of the video? And I'll have a think about it. I struggle with Hector Kana and listening to his voice. It's nothing on him. It's just, you know, my own little set of sensory issues. But if you think it would be an interesting take, I'd be happy to do it. You remember seeing my community post saying I'd reached out to her and you were excited because of my decorum and sensitivity covering people. Yeah, she did respond asking to see the questions, but I did release my rarity video very shortly after that, and so I think she probably saw that and then, you know, classed me as everybody else, which is fair enough. You know, she didn't have to answer them, but I'm kind of glad, though. I'm glad that it turned out this way because I learned a lesson and I feel like I was unscathed by my lesson learning. YouTube does not like links in chat. No, it doesn't. It's 4 a.m. Emily, you have work tomorrow. Definitely go to bed. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. My goodness.
Them ugly when she is the most vile, lying, manipulative, abusive, narcissistic, horrible person that I've ever seen on the internet. And she's sitting here saying that this other person's personality makes them ugly. Like, so crazy. I just felt like you should all get a moment to see that. Like, Jesus. We'll listen to the next little bit that she says.
Got it. Thank you, Veronica. I'll check it out.
And then I think that will be all of it.
That's how I felt too. I would have gave her a 7 if she came in here acting like a actual lady.
Okay, so let's take her personality out of it. You said she's a 3.5 before. How would you rate her without the personality?
Okay, just purely looks?
Yeah.
It's hard
Probably
to
a
do that
7.
after you've seen
Probably
her
a 7.
personality. That's what I would
Okay,
have said a 7
7's
too.
fair. A 7's very fair. Okay, fair enough.
So she rated herself, Amber, an 8 with her personality. Like, my God, so crazy. Well, there you have it. That was that episode of Lolcow Bus. I'm going to cover the Mean Girls episode in a little while, and then I think tomorrow, apparently, they're dressing up as Shrek. So they've claimed. So we'll see. I haven't had an invite to play Lord Farquaad, but, you know, there's still time. My DMs are open. I also want to quickly add here, I saw this comment from somebody on my previous video.
Do you think that was a joke, or do you think that was, like, truth? Does she want to be on this? Because part of me would kind of love to see that, and the other part of me is like, no, do not do that. Do not. What did everybody think about the reaction channel that was on and how that went? Thank you. My therapist always tells me I see too much good in people and expect them to be honest because that's how you carry yourself. Yeah, you're working on your discernment. Yes. I have a bad trait of the opposite because of how cynical I've become based on the manipulation of my mother and my family and things like that. I think it's nice. It's a nice trait, but definitely if it's going to be harming you because you're letting the wrong people in, that needs discernment for sure. You think she would fit in nicely on the LCU? I mean, I've said before, I think that what Amber and Rachel should have done is start a show themselves, just those two. They were both in a bad situation at the same time, and it would have been cool to see, you know, Rachel coming at Amber with Amber being aware that that would happen, but also with Rachel knowing that Amber will lie, and I think that dynamic would have been much better for Gorl World. But to see her on the LCU, considering this isn't the first time, I'm so sorry, my nuggets, my stomach. Considering this isn't the first time she's brought it up, I think she might want to be on there. And I can't see her matching the same yelling energy. She doesn't seem like British people, generally speaking, don't seem like that type. But I don't know. Maybe Rachel and Amber should date. You think Milky did a good job, but it's Amber, so she will never let you talk, and you can't talk about her past, present, or anything that could be considered one of those things. I think the way it went was the way it was always going to go. I don't think, yeah. I need some stream stacks. I do, but it's nearly dinner time, and that's why my stomach's, and now I'm horribly embarrassed. But see, I'm definitely a human. I have a stomach. Everyone is so obsessed with looks because they have nothing else to offer. Yes, valid point. Let's just finish this one and see where she goes with it.
Asking about my crochet, I've just realised that I forgot to put one on my chair in this video, but this girl commented this and was like, I can't stop looking at the crochet, please can you stand up? So I'm going to show it now for her, but you know, for anyone else, this is the thing that was on my chair in that video. It's a star that I made. The audio is going to go shit, sorry, but it's a Betty McKnit pattern called the 6-Day Star. I'll put a link to the video in the description, and I basically just did like random colours. I've made 2 now, actually I've made a bunch, but 2 that are like this sort of colour. Gave one to my dad, which I kind of regret because I love them so much. I've made a green one and a purple one and a couple of other colours, but yeah. The other thing was people asking me about it. I still haven't finished it. I'm working on it. But I haven't got to like the big famous scene that everyone says ruins it yet. But I don't know, someone told me that the scene's misunderstood. I haven't read it, so not sure. I'm talking about It by Stephen King, by the way, in case you didn't see my other video. But as soon as I finish that book, I will put an update at the end of whatever video I make that day. Okay, I think...
Okay, so yeah, it's those weird segments that she's brought back that everybody said were in her old videos, but then she stopped doing them for a while apparently, and now they're back. And yes... Hector Cano reminds you of Gino from 90 Day Fiancé. I've never seen that show. I have no idea. I don't know. Hector Cano reminds me of somebody that I've known in my real life. And yeah. Okay, my nuggets. Well, I am going to say goodnight here because it is chicken bedtime and it's nearly dinner time, as you can hear. Personally, you don't think they fit the tone of the video. No, I don't either. And I think what I said in the switch that she did in that feminism video that she did, it's like she'd just been speaking about such heavy topics, and then it was like this, you almost got whiplash changing topics, and then we're talking about crochet and books, and it's just, yeah. But look, it seems like everybody likes this time slot, so I definitely was looking to add a streaming time slot, and I think it's nice to get the different time zones, so everybody showed up anyway, so... Nuggets, don't forget to like the streamers. Thank you. If you would on your way out, I would appreciate that so much. But thank you everyone for coming in, and thank you everyone for chatting, and a big thank you to my lurkers there in the background too. I've seen you there. I appreciate each and every one of you. But that's all the clucks I have left to give. Stay golden, my little nuggets, and I'll catch you next time.